to get on. We have Micah here in living voice and image this time versus last time. Our engineer is out of town, and his office has all of the equipment for the phone stuff, so we won't be doing the phone calls this afternoon. We will be doing everything else. We also dedicate, remember today is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And it's interesting. My birthday's August 12th, just in case anybody forgot. It's August 12th. And so D-Day was 75 years ago today, which is the 6th. So I was almost 1 year old during D-Day. And I'm sure that I don't remember anything about it. But we'll get started. We'll get started this time with Micah. Micah had his along with Tony. Tony had to travel also, so he's not going to be on the podcast. But he was on partially on the thing this morning. There's Randy. Hey, Randy, how you doing? Right now, Randy's just a blob, but we'll see his picture here in a minute. Anyhow, I guess Randy, I'm glad you got on. Anyhow, I was getting ready to ask Micah the returns and the trades this morning. And of course, they're not necessarily through for the day. They don't have to come back, but usually one or both of them come back and do some trades later on also. But so what happened today on micro moment trading?
Yeah, it was another great day. One of our smallest days in a while, actually. But we still got some good trades out of it. We had a 1.3, I think, and a 2.7 and a 6.5. I think they were just over 10% for the day. Not as good as yesterday. Did about 38%, I believe, yesterday.
Well, yeah, but most of that, well, you had that one big trade at 13%, and then you had several trades when you came back later. So really, you had you had 10.5% when y'all ended the morning session.
Yep.
And all the rest of that was made when you came back. Well, and not just you, but you and Tony did the one trade there too. You did several. He did pick up one too. So.
Yeah, no, we've been seeing a lot of those late day trades because the mixed market at the open these days. I mean, it's been so mixed, green and red, and up, 2 points maybe on the Dow at the open, different things like that. So we've had to wait a little bit to get a touch into the day, so we're able to, actually get some direction out of the thing, so it's not just bouncing in 50-cent increments. That's just not tradable. So all of our trades today were really quick, really safe, really, very well confirmed, so that we didn't get caught right in a reversal. But yeah, hopefully it gets a little bit more directional, and we either choose to start to recover here or we continue down. Doesn't really matter either way for us, but it'd be nice to have some direction to play on momentum.
Yeah, Randy and Keith, I commented. I made a nice gesture today on the thing this morning. Their seminar, that I always like to ask Mike questions because I enjoy his brevity, and so. I read emails that people have sent in, and he really talks a lot on those financials, those emails, which is good. Poor Mike, I just beat him up all the time. Now that he can talk, I was criticized when he couldn't talk. Now
I can fight back. Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Randy, you made it.
I got in.
Got some good emails on your momentum trading today, gentlemen. And I don't have it here in front of me, and that computer is cut off. I'd open it up and read it, but made a good return. Fantastic in really short time, because momentum trades normally a little longer than a micro moment trade, and but he did it in a few minutes. I think didn't take long at all. So anyhow, yeah, and if you want to, folks that are tuned in here, if you want to go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com, you can find out what these three gentlemen do. What CSE does. There's you can sign up for the free cow report, which comes out every Friday. and got a Saturday date. It comes out every Friday, and in that county report, you'll see all the emails we get from people and talking about, how they're doing, what they're doing, if they have any questions, if they have any problems, and then each one of these gentlemen, addresses those emails in the county report. So it's a great thing to get. It's totally absolutely free, but you got to go to the website compoundstockearnings.com, and you can sign up for other stuff. You can find out what all we do and when our seminars are scheduled and just everything. Compoundstockearnings.com. Okay, Randy, I almost interrupted you there, but I never did let you get started. What's going on in your life?
Well, it's always nice to have somebody that talks more than me on here, so it's good to have Micah in now. See, he's younger, so he has a whole bunch more words to be able to say than I do,
right.
because I've used up a whole lot of my lifetime words.
He hadn't used all his words yet.
No, he has a whole plethora of words left to be able to use. So
right.
So we look forward to a lot of his words coming out. Been a good week, actually. Mike has talked about the volatility of the market. I was just kind of going up and down. The last couple of days had some pretty good runs. And, we have all kinds of different techniques. Mike has got the micro moment trading. He's got credit spreads. I do covered calls and momentum trading with advanced charting. And the way that we do covered calls is different than the way that normal people out there in the market do covered calls. We do covered calls for generating weekly income. And we're always entering into in the money covered calls. We're not speculating. The market out there, they use calls to speculate on something that might be going up. We don't. We enter in the money covered calls so that the stock could go either up or down, and we still get a good profit. And the overall goal, of course, is to always get our invested capital back as well. And so this week already had 2 successful covered calls, one on Amazon, which actually closed for a 37% return in 4 days.
Really? 37%?
37% return, yes. It was only an 86-cent per share investment in Amazon, but based on our charts, it said, yep, time to get into Amazon. And then on the QQQ, which is NASDAQ 100 ETF, and that was 13%. Entered on Monday and got out yesterday for a 13% return. That's only 3 days. So that's all based on the proprietary charts of Compound Stock Earnings, being able to see the entry points for new cycles beginning. And with covered calls, of course, we're always looking for the rising cycles to begin. So all of that you can learn.
Yeah, I'd like to point out too, when you said that, we talked about this on Micro Moment seminar the other day. It eliminates speculation. The way people lose money in the market, particularly day traders, is everybody has a different thought and a different idea of what a stock's going to do. That's what makes the market go up and down, I guess. But when you use that proprietary charting of ours, which we spend a lot of money on, it tells you when to get in and when to get out. So you don't have to think. My big deal is, when you're doing our techniques, you don't have to think. It always irritates Keith when I talk about that because he's got an intellectual, but you don't have to think to do it. You just have to be able to have eyesight. I don't know if you're blind, maybe we can get some kind of virtual that AI stuff, and help out the blind people. But, and I guess.
Yeah. And so as you mentioned about whether stocks go up or down, and we have processes, we call them techniques, but processes to use to continually generate income, even if it goes the opposite direction as we expected, waiting for it to come back in the direction we want it to go. And so here's an email from Sam that did just that. He entered a momentum trade, and a momentum trade is where we're trying to find the beginning of the rising cycle using the advanced charting proprietary charting package. And so he entered a momentum trade on AMD back on April 3rd, and it dropped after that. Well, he didn't panic. He didn't sell for a loss. He implemented the techniques to continually generate income and was able to, and this was sent, the email was 2 days ago. And so 2 days ago, he was able to actually exit that position returning all of his invested capital plus a 5.42% income. So even though the chart went against him and it didn't come back up all the way yet, he was able to continually generate income and return all of his invested capital with a 5.42% profit. Now, that's not a huge profit for 2 months, but it shows that there's a whole process here. We're not just speculating on a certain direction. There's a process to be able to use to manage the positions, whether they go up or down, to get a successful outcome. So that was just one of those emails, Joe, that you mentioned where we can still manage those positions.
Yeah, I think the whole key is management, and we've always promoted for over 20 years now. CSE, that's what we do, is we're going for income. We manage for income, not for capital gains on stocks going up or down. We're going for the monthly income, and if we bought a stock and it went up forever, that's great, but we're not concerned with that because we're going to just get higher premiums when we sell a call. And it's that income, because that income is compounding that income. You take $1,000, you know, I keep talking about this till everybody's, you know, tired of it, but $1,000 at 1% per week, which all of y'all are way in excess of that, in 20 years is $30 million. And the stock never has to go up in value. Never, not one single time. It's just like the way we look at investing in stocks is like a real estate investor looks at investing in real estate. They buy a house, they have to rent it. If they're not going to live there, they buy it to rent it, apartments to rent them. And it's that income that gives all the value there. Well, people that have stocks that aren't renting them via the covered call process, it's like they own an apartment house or a rent house and they don't charge any rent. They never rent it. So it makes in apartments, that would be insane. And that's exactly stocks. If you own stocks and don't rent them, then you're just not renting them. You're just you know, totally dependent upon the stocks going up in value, hopefully, and maybe some dividend income. But that's our whole concept, and Randy's a master at it, and he does more of our traditional. What we started off with traditional covered calls, and then he's innovated many new ones. And also, what's helped all these techniques is as time has gone by, the trading platforms have gotten incredibly good. The brokers are eliminating commissions, so the commissions are very, very low. And it's enabled what used to be. Remember, Randy, a long time ago, we said you and I used to give those 2-day seminars, and the deal was 5% a month. You make 5% a month, and you know that was about the max. Now you guys are making 5% a day and 5% a week. You know, just because now they have a lot of the stocks, not all of them, but a lot of them have Friday expiration every Friday instead of what used to be just the old once a month third Friday, and so you can really get in and out of deals rather quickly and just pile up more earnings. So the whole deal is income, trying to make income on those stocks and not worry about. I don't know, you know, how people, particularly retired people that aren't doing covered calls, how they're living off of their stock investments unless they've got a massive amount of stock with a lot of dividends. Because, you know, if you're just totally dependent upon trying to live off your stock investments by selling them when they go up in value, you know, you're going to be more of a pauper than a rich person there, you know, because you're going to have to sell for losses also just to generate cash. So Keith, what's different about your stuff?
Well, just started doing a new one today. I do the credit spread, weekly credit spread work in Platinum Service. And more recently, I've been getting in just to the credit spread momentum trades. And I talk about that did that on a roundup. Golly, I think it's been 6 years ago or so, Joe, that I did that roundup. And been perfecting that technique a little bit more since. And more recently, with the volatility in the market, it's been a little harder to get into them. So I'm actually gone back to this a little bit shorter term CSM trades, the credit spread momentum trades, and did my first one yesterday with real money. Got 15% return on that. I'm typically looking to be in these trades anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours. I don't want to hold them overnight, and so far they've done good. I've been tracking them and doing some modeling on that this last week, and again, did my first one yesterday. I missed one this morning because my internet went out on me just about the time it was ideal, but there are many times during the day that looks like you can get these trades to come through. And like Randy said, the charting really helps us out immensely. I'm using the proprietary CSE CSM charts as well as the ICE charts for doing the determination on these trades. And it's looking like a good approach.
Well, fantastic. And what he does is, and what Micah does, and what Randy do, they're doing these with their own money. And when they get ready to do a trade, they say, "I'm getting ready to do this. I'm getting ready to buy this, whatever it is, or sell it. Put or call, whatever." And then they tell you when they do it. So you're prepped. You're ready to go. And then when they do it, they say, "I'm doing it right now." And then in the case of Mike, who usually gets out real quick, nature of the process of the technique, then he says, "Okay, I'm getting ready to get out at this price, or I put it in to get out at that price." Well, they, on a different time scale, Keith and Randy do the exact same thing. So you're getting their real trades, and you just mimic those trades, and you're gonna make unusually fantastic returns and generate a lot of cash. So it's a trade for everybody, and and these guys have been around forever. Randy's been 12 years with CSE, and Keith 7, 8 years.
Probably 8 years, yeah.
8 years, yeah. And he finally outgrew his earphones. He didn't wear his earphones.
I know.
His hearing improved. Now, no, see, Randy still got on his earphones. He's old school. I was having lunch yesterday with this gentleman, an oil guy from Fort Worth here, and he lives down in the islands, as my wife and I do. And so, but he's in the Bahamas, we're in Puerto Rico. And he comes and goes all the time. He's got an airplane, just flies his own airplane, and has a landing strip behind his house, and got all kinds of stuff. For the first time, I didn't know that he had a B-29, those things they flew during World War II, like D-Day stuff. He's got one that they've had the family since the war. His dad bought it after the war. Totally, he still flies it. And he's got one of those fighter planes, P something or other, whichever one that was a World War II one. Totally, absolutely maintained. He still flies it too. And I told him, well, in memory of D-Day, you should go up and buzz the city or something. But he didn't think that was a good idea. But anyhow, I don't know why I brought that up. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. So again, go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com. Check it out. Subscribe. Hey, yeah, these guys do the seminars. Keith, when's your next seminar coming up?
I don't know. I do the 2-day weekend. No, I haven't talked to Sue Ann to get that scheduled yet. So usually it's towards the end of July, beginning of August.
What about you, Randy? You got anything coming up?
Well, you have the 2-day cover call seminar coming up at the end of the month.
That's right.
That's a 2-day. That's the way to get started. But learn how to buy stocks and sell calls against them. The most conservative investing method out there, and that's how you get started. Get your feet wet, learn the processes, and then graduate up to the fastest thing possible with Micah there on the micro moment.
Yeah, that seminar is going to be the last 2 days of June weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and I guess 28th, 29th, something like that. But it's the last 2 days of the month. I'll be doing it from Puerto Rico, which means I'll be doing it in Spanish. So, get your book out. You have time now between now and that seminar to totally become fluent in Spanish. And I know I will. So, well, I guess that's about it for the day then, guys. We really appreciate you being here. And let's just go do some deals. Thanks a lot, Keith. Thanks, Randy. Thanks, Micah.
Okay.
We'll see y'all guys. Bye-bye.
Have a good week, everybody.
Yep. Have a good week, everyone. We'll talk to you later. See you next week.
Thanks. Yeah.
So long.